Welcome, welcome, welcome to Mommy's Keeping It Cute. Happy Sunday, good people.
Happy Sunday. We here.
Yes, we are here.
All women have a skeleton in the closet. All women have.
Uh-oh. Do they, Norm?
Look at Norm starting.
Dang, Norm. Yes, well, thank you for joining us again for another Mommy's Keeping It Cute. We are here in the building.
Each and every Sunday, 7 p.m. No other place to be but here.
Yes, and we actually have some guests today. We have Miss Esme Valdez.
Woo! Woo!
Yes. Future author, life coach, options trader. I want to say she is just the jack of all trades. She does it all. Yes, hand clap, hand
She's
clap.
so beautiful.
Hey. Say it again.
Beautiful.
Yes, and we also have my Miss London here. Shout out to Miss Danny in the building. A solid one. She's a solid one. Long-time friend.
She definitely is. So how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty okay. My weekend was productive.
Yay.
It was productive. Always working. Hashtag. It was very productive. Because actually, I'm taking an option trading course.
You was sending me business text messages after 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Always working.
It does not matter.
Always working.
Yes.
Always working. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I could wake up like 2, 3, look at my phone. My baby mother done text me.
Because that brain
She'll
be
text me
moving.
because She'll text me at 5:53 in the morning. I love it because she's always like on go.
Absolutely.
Go
Thank you.
all the time, so.
I appreciate that, friend. It was mad productive. So, Miss Esme, her significant other, Mr. Jamal, of Solomon's Trade Experience. So I've been taking his options trading course or whatever, and Jamal, I call him Professor. Then he gave us homework this week. And then, I just took it back to, real stuff. Like when it comes to studying, sometimes it's like you gonna have to take that stuff out that book bag and really teach myself what's going on. So Danny and I, we studied this weekend. We study numbers. We study numbers, and we're like, Jamal, we're not going to call you anymore. But he gave us our homework assignment, and it's just like, I'm trying to make this money and learn.
What was the assignment? What did you all have to do?
Oh, so Jamal gave me $2,500 to invest in 3 companies. So I had to, mock invest, create these charts, store it in my computer so I could be able to watch it and what the trade ticket does. So he gave me real life practice. So when I go live and start trading by myself, I will kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know you're going to.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're not doing it by yourself. You're doing it with a friend.
Yes.
And one thing I told Danielle when she first started was you're going to notice that your friendships are going to change and they're going to bloom because now you have real solid conversations, where you guys are feeding each other's minds.
Yes.
And that right there is dope. I'm so proud
It's
of you.
priceless. Because all we talk about is money now. All we talk about is the stock market. My mother was...
You come into the class
happiness and money. Yeah, I know. Peachy Poo told me about it and everything.
Yes.
So.
My mom was in the kitchen when her and I was studying. And my mom was like, y'all know when you ever hear wong, 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 wong?
I could see it.
She was like, y'all talking the whole time y'all here talking, it sound like wong, 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 wong. I was like, Mom, because it's a whole nother language. That money is a whole nother language.
Before we move forward in this
interview,
my
yes,
baby
ma'am.
mother's looking like money. Ooh,
Hey.
I mean, with the...
Whoa, you tell me.
you never know. You never know when you come across Peachy Poo. What you going to get? You going to get the blonde, the pink, the blue, the black, the...
Digging the wig
whatever.
bags,
And she wears
yeah.
it all so well. You look
Thank you so
pretty.
much. I appreciate it.
Y'all
Thank
know
you,
I love my baby
friend.
mother. Y'all know I love her.
That
so
self-care is the
I'm
best
so happy
care,
to
you
see
know?
Danielle. My dear yoga
Yes.
instructor.
Yoga instructor, marketing.
Was in yoga yoga instructor
for our event. She's into marketing. She's into branding. Like, she know how to write. You know, just she's really talented. Shout out to my girl. So how was your week, baby mama?
My week was good. My week was
Accomplished, huh?
Accomplished, yeah. Shout out to myself. You know, I got that good
Give
old,
yourself a
that good old certified,
my baby mama.
Class, so that's what I'm really into.
So the
like
last
lashes
technician.
and
So
then
how was the
help me
class? How was it?
It was tedious.
Yes,
It
very
really
much
was.
so.
I have like a different look on females who actually apply those individual lashes.
Oh yeah,
Whether
absolutely.
it's the hybrid, volume, classic, whatever. You literally are putting the lash on one lash.
Each,
so
yes.
You have over 100 lashes on one eye. So now I see why it takes 2.5 hours or whatever to do the lashes.
And why it costs so much.
And why it costs so
because
much.
it's the time. It's the time.
Because I've come across the lashes before, and I'm like, oh, I want to get the individuals, and then when you hit somebody up, they're like, oh, $125. I'm like, I ain't paying no $120.
You better know
But then when you think about
decision.
Yeah, so when you think about the time that it takes for them to actually apply,
it's worth
every
it.
lash,
It sound about right.
and then the fillings are like $80, $45,
That's
depending on
right.
what you get. But you know what? There's bread in it.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Because that opens up the door for a lot of other things.
Beauty. It's beauty.
And
that
don't
help the
mention
woman.
the type of piece that they need to have because they deal with all kinds of characters.
Ooh, yes, and the type of
Yeah.
piece, right?
That's
Just
right.
and like being like a lash tech or like just a massage therapist, like you come into contact with these energies, right?
Yes.
What?
And having that.
That's a
It's
big deal.
And
Yeah.
the instructor, she was so like, shout out to Jordan. Because
Hey, Jordan. Pink. Okay, Pink Diamond Beauty Bar. Okay.
Princeton Avenue, New Brunswick, because she was so informative. She gave
That's what's
like,
up.
and she only 24 years old, and
That's
she
right.
like her bread is long.
Let's go.
Let's
Okay,
get it.
Let's go with it
Yeah,
itself.
she got her own business. She has a lot of different things going on. So
Good for her. Sound like she
You know.
got that hustler spirit.
absolutely. So whatever I do, I'm bringing my baby mama to.
Hey, we out here.
Hey, remember when you had
Hey.
yours? When you did your lashes?
Yeah,
when
I
you came
did.
over to the house.
We coming
Yeah.
with
And
them.
you did it on me.
Yeah, I experimented on
She
you.
experimented on me.
Yeah, I did the lash thing before too, but you know, it's a craft that I feel like you passionate about it. I got ADHD.
Yeah, baby
like
mama,
I
she
move
can't sit
too
still.
much.
She can't sit still like
I could put some strips on though,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like I can't. No.
Let me tell
This
you something.
it.
Peachy Poo taught me how to put strips on. Because I
Hey.
got in her bathroom.
Round of applause.
Hey.
She taught me how to put strips
I look like a different person.
Okay,
Yeah.
lash gives you life.
Wow.
Lashes give you life.
Because I always just did the little clusters or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just like, I was over at her house and downstairs in the bathroom. I'm like, how you do the lashes? She's like, girl, let me just show you. She got the tweezers, the glue, the strip. She was like, look up. I was like, okay. She did it. I said, that's it? I said, so what you do again? And ever since then, girl, I was up there with them
Yup.
strips and everything.
And just
So,
a tip for all the girls out there that do they strips or want to put strips on the weekend, the key, I think the secret to putting on strips is you got to let that glue get tacky first. So when you first put that glue on that lash, you can't just automatically put that lash on. You
what
got
I
to
do.
blow that,
that's
let
what
that
she
get
said.
tacky.
said,
And once
do
it
that
get
again, do that again. Yes.
and it get tacky, and once it get tacky, you can play with it so it won't just be falling off. Cause the glue is tacky, so it has something to stick on to. So that's the key. That's a little secret.
Yeah, it was
That's a
dope,
free
though.
tip.
It
Yeah,
was-
free
it
tip.
It was dope. It was from 11 to 5:30, so it was a long day.
Right.
But it was very informative. I got my little mannequin at home, so I said I'm going to commit myself
Yes.
every day for at least, well, it has to be like 2 or 3 hours because I want to get very familiar with that.
Yes,
'Cause
absolutely.
I could see myself really going far with that.
Mm,
So I'm going
yes,
to
you see it, girl, manifest it.
to try to do a classic set, do a
models?
hybrid
So,
set.
Uh-huh.
well, I'm not gonna listen. I will commit myself to doing your promo for free.
Ooh,
yes.
how about that?
Ooh,
Yes.
That's why I love her. That's what's up, Ashley.
Because I feel like the most joyous thing is when a woman actually has passion for something, and then they go out and they get it, and they invest in
Absolutely.
themselves, whether it's this or option straight, whatever it is. If you invest in yourself, I'm here for it. So
Absolutely.
I will publicly commit myself to doing your free
know we
promo
love
until
you.
you get them clients up, girl. But don't forget my lashes.
I know, right?
I know that's
Yes.
right. As me,
So
and shout
good.
out to that, because don't you do free promos Mondays and Tuesdays for people?
I do free promos Mondays, yes.
Absolutely. So what like made you just say like, hey, I just gonna do this for the people? Like what kind of?
And before you say that you do the free promos, let us know on what site, what platform do you do the free promo? Because you know when people look at this, they gonna want to hit you up.
Right. So @me_V on Instagram. That's the platform I'm always on. This is where all my business stem from. And I decided to do free promo because it's fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like every time you choose to invest on yourself, and every time you choose to have a project develop, you may not have the money for it. You know what I mean? Everybody always thinks, oh, in order to be a boss, you got to be rich. The truth of the matter is that bosses start off broke.
That is the truth.
You know,
Absolutely.
That's the truth.
and everybody needs that one person. And throughout my life, I've always found that one person.
Absolutely.
And I want to be that one person.
I think it's just so dope.
Yeah,
So,
that's the way.
right, I want to give back. I want to give somebody the strength because, you know, as later we'll discuss, my platform grew this big by accident.
I want to get.
But I
I
don't want somebody's business to be by accident. I want to be present. I want to see you grow.
Because that's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do. And you know what? What people don't understand is that marketing yourself and doing these type of things, that's like credit. You know, if my credit right now was bad, it isn't because I worked on it, but it was.
Okay.
If my credit was bad, the amount of people that I've been able to reach out to
Absolutely.
will get me to where I need to go.
So it's more or less like it's like the Instagram platform is more or less it's like that it's credibility
Absolutely.
because you solid, right?
Absolutely.
And I guess that's why the love is reciprocated.
Facts. And there's nothing that I could put my head to that I want to do that people are not going to support me because they know I support. And that's what I want to do.
And that's the big thing, support.
That's
Yes.
it.
You know, you're always going to support those who support you, you know, and that's it. So you're always going to associate yourself with those who support you and,
Right.
you know, speak that positivity into you and everything else. So,
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's just
Hey Candace and Jason. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
oh, hey, Candace.
Yeah.
Jason, shout out to Jason Balls, Beers and Ballhead. He has a dope podcast every Monday at
Absolutely.
9 o'clock. So on BKS1 Radio. Whoop, whoop.
whoop, whoop.
So let's get into this Instagram.
Yes, let's get
You over
into
there
it.
pouring that good old Jameson.
I mean, you know. Listen, at Solomon Trade Experience,
With my
we encourage
boots, Canada
drinking.
Dry.
Yes, they do.
We encourage drinking.
Yes.
We do shots and all that. This is real life.
Real
What
life.
happens?
I know that's right.
Yes.
So let's get into it. So I know that the main thing I wanted to tap into I know you're a life coach. I see you do a lot in the community as me. I see you volunteering, giving back, toy drives, feeding the homeless for the holidays. You're so selfless. You're a very selfless person. And I sit back and I be thinking like, oh, like just the fact that so many people are attracted to you or attracted to your account or attracted to what you put out there, I just think it's just so dope. And something new that you've been talking about or you clued me in on was your book. And I know we can't really get into everything, but I want to just kind of see what sparked that. Like what actually sparked it, like one day as me I'm sitting down and you just wanted to go for it.
Write a book.
Yeah.
So I was in Miami,
Okay. Am I right?
and I was
Nice weather, good food. It makes you want to do it.
Write a lot of nice things.
and I was twerking in the balcony,
Uh-huh.
and I was with a bunch of girls, and then it got serious. You know, like you start drinking, and people start talking and pouring out their hearts, and I found myself giving a
Laughing
whole
and crying.
laughing and crying. So these were believe it or not, I never knew these people. But
Wow.
I'm a people person, so I make a lot of friends.
Yes, you are.
So I took them back to my room when we twerking, just us girls. And then, people start crying, people start talking, and I find myself just being really transparent about my story and the things that I went through. And these were all younger girls, like not that much younger, but younger than me.
Okay.
And they were all looking up at me, and they were in tears. And that's when I realized everybody says that they have a story to tell, but no one is courageous enough to actually tell it.
And you better know it.
So I said, you know what? Not only do I owe it to myself, but I owe it to the people that have cried the same tears I cried.
You better know it. Ooh, I got goosebumps. Nah, for real.
And when I got off the plane and I came back home, I was like, yo, I'm going to do this if it's the last thing that I do. And, it started a whole new door, a whole new journey in my life. I had no idea that it was actually going to get this far. But I knew I wanted to do it.
Right. Absolutely. So I guess I think that moment, I think for you, I feel like your energy is so dope and it's so, people are attracted to it. And it sounds like I do. Oh, I have to move it? Okay. All right. I'll be, yeah. Yes, please. Thank you, Danny. My keys are over here.
This is what I'm saying. So
that's
my
why
purse.
she's here.
Yeah.
This is what I love. Like, we don't
Yeah.
edit anything. I say this every single show. This is
It's
raw.
actually it's on the side of my little pouch.
raw
There we
deal.
go. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think, but it sounds like that moment when you seen like your story is just not your story, but it also could help somebody in the moment. And those tears, and I guess kind of pouring it out to these younger girls, because I say it all the time. I feel like I'm so attracted to younger women because I wish I had somebody to tell me what I can tell them.
Right.
I wish somebody told me at 18 to love myself or to not do certain things or to have standards. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you, girl. I feel you. I feel you.
Everyone has a story. I feel like, it's true. Everyone does have a story to tell. It's not all the same, but we all have emotions.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's all like emotionally, mentally, physically. You know what I mean? So as women, we all felt something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
And I think that's what's powerful. Like for me, what drives me is like the whole womanhood thing, because I feel like we have constantly been raped. And when I say raped, it's not just penetration, but I just think that we've been taken away things that belong to us, like our power, our knowledge, just being able to do what we feel, has been taken away from us. So at that moment, it just became real to me. Like, yo, these women, they have voices, but they're not utilizing. So it's my responsibility to speak about my truth so that they can also speak about their truth, and so that they won't be embarrassed. Because I feel like what stops us the most is embarrassment.
Yes, and that's what was my next question for you, Esme. Like, I know the fact that you came to the point you felt inspired to write this book, but let's talk about the transparency and that courage. Where does that courage come from to put your life out there for all to see, to put your story out there? Like,
because once you put things out there, you can't take it back.
Right.
Once it's out there, it's out there. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Right,
It's
but just
out there.
just walk us through what Esme thinks about things that may be taboo to the masses. Like how did you get to that point that you was ready to start?
So I'll tell you this. Most of my life was lived in secrecy.
Okay.
Why? Because I never shared anything. It was always, so I had a child when I was 14 years old. So all the kids from like my high school that I left for no reason, nobody knew why I left. So that was a secret. When I reached out to the people that I knew to be my parents, they were like, well, I have 2 sisters. And they were like, well, you can't say that you have a child. So I hid that. And then when I started going back to school to get my degrees, I wanted to hide the fact that I had a child because I was ashamed. So then I went on and graduated But my private life was a secret. I was embarrassed.
Right.
You know, and I didn't know that I was embarrassed. But what I also didn't know was that that's who the fuck I was. You know, this is you. This is your core. This is your tears. And why not speak about it now?
Okay.
Because you suffered in silence long enough. You know, like, it wasn't my fault that I was raped. It wasn't my fault that I was beaten. It wasn't my fault that I was in the street. These are things that were put in my path. And guess what? I'm here.
And that's why I love you for that. Like, I swear, like, you know, I feel like a person could take traumatic experiences, right? A person could take that and wallow in it and care what people got to say about you, right? But it's like, it take a special person to take, like, trauma or to take lack of resources, right, and be able to be resilient from it. And that's what I love it, because I feel like that's what the world needs. The world needs more of inspiration. And in order to get that, people got to start being honest and sharing their story and not giving an F about it.
Right. But I just want to, and I don't mean to interrupt you at all, but I just want to say, what happens is people, real people, right? Because everybody's real. So real people.
Where's the clown, the circus? Norm, we need to get a circus.
Bozo.
Yeah,
for the goofies. For the goofies.
Like,
yeah.
Goofies.
Let's just talk about it. Everybody is real, right? Everybody is the good person. Everybody has all these qualities. The truth is that that's not the truth. You know, it's so much negativity out there. And it's so many people not taking accountability for what they're doing.
Okay, that's right.
So, with that being said, I needed to understand who I wanted to become as a woman and who I wanted to become as a person. In order for me to do that, I wasn't going to dwell on what happened to me. I was going to focus on this image of who I wanted to become. And that's the bottom line.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's like, I don't care about what, like, literally people say, I don't care about what people say, but you're watching.
Hello,
you know, what people,
somebody.
What
Absolutely.
people say.
Somebody.
I literally wake up every day, and before I get off my bed, and she'll tell you, because I tell her all the time, you know, I literally tell myself, you got to be about the shit you talk.
That's
so if
right.
I'm preaching positivity, that's what I gotta be.
That's right.
Because that's my truth. So if I speak my truth and the next person is not ready for that, then you are not my type of real.
Hello.
I know that's right.
And they're not going to understand it. They're not going to understand
No.
it. They're not going to be able to adapt to what you're saying.
Right.
So, you know, they might come off offensive.
And
Absolutely.
and that's fine, because, you know, people have choices. And you can make your choice not to associate yourself with me. I'm not going to be bothered by it. But I'm going to live my truth, because when I... You know, God, when God takes me and he passes away, people will not remember my words, but they're going to remember how I make them feel.
Absolutely.
They're going to remember that
Dope soul. You're a dope soul. And I heard you say, you know, the fact that you know, did suffer some sexual trauma and abuse, you know, I don't feel comfortable if you want to dive into that more, if you want to or not, but I really just want
talk to me, whatever you want.
Yeah, so like, you know, as far as that sexual trauma, like, what age did that start happening? Was that somebody that you knew? Was it a stranger? Kind of.
So my story is a little, it's crazy because it's a little bit all over the place.
Okay.
When I came to this country when I was 7 years old, I started to get molested shortly after that. It started by family members. And then it was just like a thing, you know, and people don't talk about that, but it's just like, this happens often.
All the time.
In your family, in your household. And then it wasn't, so my mother, she was a prostitute. Okay. So she thought that she couldn't protect me by building a cage. So I was in a cage while she was doing her stuff.
Wow. So okay. So she was a prostitute. So and I get it, the logic, well, let me build a cage or let me build somewhere where nobody could get to her, right? So my next question, like, just where my brain go, kind of in addition to the prostitution, what else was going on in that environment? You know what I mean?
She was a great mom.
Yeah, but was there drugs? Was there alcohol? Like, it was just straight up?
She didn't drink. She
okay.
didn't smoke. She wasn't doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I understand that now that I'm a life coach and that I understand people.
Yeah.
This was how she knew how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like people always talk crap about people who have OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you know how to do. So
Get
this
it how
is
you
what
live
you
it.
do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Either you
Absolutely.
like it or you don't.
So at the time, it was like, oh my God, I hate my mom. But the truth is, that's what she knew how to do. And that's
how
what
she
brought
provided.
me to this country.
Uh-huh.
She paid for all these papers for me to get here.
How about that?
You know what I mean? So
The irony of it,
right.
you know?
And this is why I don't care about what people say, because you have to live your life. And she
That's
was
right.
living her life the way she knew how to live her life.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for me, I got caught up in the crossfire. But I'll tell you what that taught me. That taught me that when I live my life, I make sure that people are not being impacted in a negative way. Because then that's when they could point the finger at me. But if I'm just living my life, doing what I want to do, and just being very clear to everybody around me, who can say anything?
Right.
You knew what you was getting into.
Right. So back at 7, you said the abuse started like within the family.
So it started right before I got to the States, right?
Okay.
With the people she left me with
Got
out
it.
there. And then when I came here, she had me in a cage, but then she rented a room to people. So that
When you say cage.
she had a cage built around the bed, like literally with sticks,
Oh, really?
from the floor to the ceiling.
Wow.
So it was a real
So
cage.
it was a real cage.
So, and her main goal, the main objective for the cage was to keep you safe.
Yes,
From
men
men.
that would come in and out the house.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So from there, it went
Much
on.
respect to mom, though. I
For
mean,
protecting you.
you
The
know,
best way that she
could.
knew. If the cage is what it was to protect her
That's
daughter,
what it was.
then that's what it was.
You know,
Yeah.
it made sense to her.
that's right.
So
Exactly.
So then it went from the people that she was renting the rooms to, which she felt like were friends, and then she got into a serious relationship, and he wasn't penetrating me, but he was touching me, and then it went from there to when I went into foster care. It actually came from one of the staff members, and then it went to my daughter's father, and I think that's when I broke the cycle.
Okay.
Because I was ready. I was ready to take control of my life.
Absolutely.
I was ready to stop allowing people to do what they wanted to do, because I think that in my where I was at in my life, because this is all I knew, I thought that it was okay.
And I was just about to ask you, kind of like,
Okay. You thought it was okay.
how did you perceive sexuality? Like, how did you perceive boundaries? Because sometimes when the way we think about sex is a lot of it is learned behavior, so when was the moment that you realized, like, nah, this is not cool, like, this is not supposed to be happening?
When I got tired of crying. When I got tired of being told when I was supposed. First of all, I didn't have my first orgasm till I was pregnant with my child, and I was like 15 years old, and that orgasm was by mistake. And then I went on to go into a relationship, and I was in that relationship for 6 years, and I had my first orgasm after that at 19, and then I started to explore my body. But prior to that, I realized that there is power in what you want. So if I don't want to feel that nobody should tell me it's okay.
Right.
No, especially men.
Right.
I love men. I feel that there are great men out there, but no man has the right to tell me at what time I want sex, how I want sex, and how they're going to do it, especially if I'm not coming.
Right. How about that? Round of applause.
Bye, Norm.
All right, Norm. We done scared Norm out the building. But absolutely. Absolutely. So do you think that translate into your post today? The taking that ownership back of your body and putting it out there the way you want to put it out there and not having anybody tell you how to.
So I'll tell you what's been going on in my life recently.
Talk to me.
So it's crazy because I'm not a celebrity, right?
I think you are.
Am.
IG celebrity. Yes, you are. Almost 200,000 followers, girl. You so yeah. Okay.
But I don't feel like I'm at that caliber yet. Not to say it's not happening. Let me talk it into existence. But I get a lot of negativity. You know, I'm actually. You guys know I do things for the community, so I've been trying to do something for the community. And a woman was like, "Well, I can't do business with you because you choose to show your body." You know, and that is not my idea of what a woman of worth should do. You know, like what are you gonna do with the community? Be naked?
Right.
And I actually lost sleep.
You second guess that experience? Like tell me why. Tell me why you lost sleep.
I was angry.
You was mad? Tell me why you mad, son.
Let me tell you why I was mad. 'Cause I'm no longer mad because I had to readjust my crown.
That's up. I like that. Can I get a round of applause?
We have moments where I have to do that all the time because I need to remember like who the hell I am. God made somebody worthy and somebody strong, so there is no way anybody's gonna shake me. But this particular person shook me because this is so embedded in my heart to do for people that I've been every money that comes from my promos goes to that.
Okay.
And I've been doing it, not asking anybody for a dime. I get up early in the morning.
Just repeat that for the people. All of your community stuff. Say that again.
All of my community stuff is funded by me. 110%. Yes, I do have sometimes friends might volunteer $20 here. But let me tell you, community centers are like $400. Sandwiches, all that stuff equates. And I'm doing this not once a week. I'm doing this all the time. Like when I wake up and I'm in desperate need to give, I do it. And there's been times when I haven't had the money for it and I took from my savings or whatever and I've done it and I've never asked anybody for dollars. So I committed.
Or bragged about it.
Or you know bragged about it because I don't ever post anything about it.
Because it's genuine and that just lets me know.
I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this. You know what I mean? Like everybody asks us what they're good at. This is what I'm good at. I'm good at helping people. This is what's in my soul. You know what I mean? I can't sing. I can't act. I can't do none of that. But I can make some damn sandwiches.
Okay.
So nonetheless, I don't want to bore you guys.
No, it's not boring at all, honey.
Your support team. So how's your support team? Because you did shout out your boo earlier.
Oh my God.
Molly Moore. So that's the homie. Molly the homie.
Supportive of everything and going through everything that you went through as a child. How does that affect your relationship? Like how was that? You know what I mean? So how does he
like take us through how did it negatively impact it and how does and how'd you come out of that?
I get so emotional thinking about him. It's crazy because I'm with him, right? But I still
love him.
Yeah.
He's
a gentleman.
And everyone loves you.
I'm in love with him. I don't just love him, and I feel like Black Lip. I thought that I thought I knew love, but I never in my life had someone intake my ugliness. You know, not what everybody sees, not the smiley as me, but the messed up as me. You know, the out of control as me, the breaking down as me, and actually listen, not to speak to me, not to tell me you're doing this wrong,
right?
But to gently make me want to become better,
right? That takes finesse. Man. It takes a special man. I think it takes
and
he's
8 years younger than me, y'all.
God-given man.
You a young one. I know that's right.
God, but when you have, I feel like when we meet a man that knows how to handle us. Because we're delicate, right? Whether the trauma we've been through in the past, relationships, daddy issues, all that craziness, right? But when a man can listen, right? And has I think the intuition to know how to handle us. I think that's like God given for me.
It's a different type of intimacy.
Yeah, because they don't make them like that no more.
Let me tell you something.
Damn, I had to flip that. They don't.
Flip that shit.
Well, I can't say that.
Right, but you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
like,
you so crazy, baby.
I know what you mean, but you know,
but to have a man like that just like
because I think what happened
he takes
was
it all in.
Man,
yeah.
I think what happened was I built these walls and they were so high, and at one point all I said was, well, if you can't climb them, then you're gonna fall. You know. Oh well, but he nourished me. He showed me that it's okay to be vulnerable. There's so much power in vulnerable.
We have an incoming call.
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and not to cut you, not to cut anybody off.
You know how Ella
Is
be.
it 848 number?
No, it's not.
Okay, let's see. All right, let's see.
You know, Mikhail
Mommy's keeping it cute.
She called up here before.
Call from the 848 station.
Caller from the 848. Caller from the 848.
Hello.
Hi, I just wanted to say, Esme, I'm so proud of you.
Hi, Julia. I thought it was my daughter. I'm like, she's playing the phone again.
I was like, hold on. Is that 848?
I love you too. All right, carry on. I'm sorry.
No, don't, Bubba, don't hang up yet. Hello? Are you still there?
Caller, who's there?
Yes, I'm
Who's
still
there?
here.
Caller, state your name. Caller.
That's my kid.
Destiny. My name is Destiny.
Hi, Destiny. Nice to meet you, Destiny.
You have a beautiful mom.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, because we're here. We heard that you're a college student. So how has the semester been treating you? How's college going?
So far so good. So far so good.
I'm proud of you.
It's my first year, so I'm getting used to it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so far so good.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm so proud of you. I feel like when young women go and get their education, when one win, we all win. So keep it up, girlfriend.
Period.
Hey.
I will.
Thank you, Destiny, for calling.
All right, I love
Thank
you,
you,
Mama.
baby. I love you
So
too.
sweet.
Oh my God.
She sound like a baby.
I love my damn heart.
She's so sweet. And her energy just sounds electric too. Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, she's super dope, man.
Now, being a mom, going through everything that you went through as a child, how did you transition with everything being a parent? Like, did you ever find yourself saying, like, oh, let me not do this, I'm not going to do that? Or did you ever hear yourself or see yourself like, damn, I really didn't want to do that. I really didn't want to say that. But because you went through so much, not saying that you taking it out anything on your child, but sometimes,
but
sometimes when you
how
go through stuff, how
did it impact your parenting? Good question, sis.
I told her today, I was like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Next caller.
Hey.
Caller from the 908. State your name.
Who is that?
MKC.
On the gang. It's Jamal Solomon.
Hey, Professor.
That's the Mr. calling in. That's the Mr. calling in.
You know the vibes, man. I had to come through, show some love. You feel me? I see y'all out here working. I'm so proud of everybody over there.
Thank
Y'all talking big bag talk. You know I'm here for all that.
Absolutely. Yes. And shout out to you too, Jamal. I mean, like, Miss Esme just kind of started to explain kind of what you provided to her and the nurturing and the love that you gave her and the patience. So shout out to you too.
Absolutely. Shout out to you.
So all the females out here know there's some
back.
still good guys out here. You know what I'm saying?
Very good men out here.
Yeah, matter of fact, y'all gotta go back to that. Cause I'm light skinned, I get gas easy, so I need my little moment. You feel me? While I'm over here.
All right, Molly Moore. Thanks for calling up, though. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you. He's dope, man.
See, but
He's dope.
We need a thing when they say the light skin part.
Right, like
a hee-haw.
Like I'll be sure, like
girl, but I needed a hee-haw. You know people get on their Drake shit.
Let me know.
I hear that crap all the time. They get on their little Drake, like.
Right, so I think we ended up with how
with the parents.
Yes, how it impacted.
So I was telling her today, I'm like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I do want to share this with you guys real quick.
Yes.
So I was pregnant at 14, right? Uh-huh. And my birthday's in August, her birthday's in July. So it was like right before I turned 15, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to be pregnant. I didn't know what it was. At this time, I was in foster care. I didn't know what an abortion was. I didn't know what my options were. But I knew I had something growing inside of me, right? But I didn't want it. I didn't understand at that moment what it would do to change my life. So the day before she was born, I found myself like jumping double dutch, right? And like my stomach dropped.
Bendita.
And I'm leaking. So now I'm leaking for like an entire week. And I walked to the hospital because I'm still like, I can't even like process this. I walked because I couldn't even process.
Were you in denial that you was pregnant at that age?
Absolutely in denial.
Okay.
Were you going to the doctor? Were you?
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have anybody talking to me about.
No prenatal care or anything.
I didn't. I stopped prenatal care.
God bless you.
Because I went into so they can't leave you in a group home. They put you into a shelter. And I don't want this to offend anybody, but I was the only Spanish girl walking into the shelter, so I was getting into fights every day because the girls wanted nothing to do with me. I didn't look like I was pregnant. You know, I was real slim, and it was a problem. So I was getting jumped while I was on the phone.
Wow.
So I was fighting every day while I was pregnant. So I left there. I went back into the streets.
So how do we? Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Finish. Okay. Finish, because I'm gonna just make
so
my
what
note.
I wanted to say was long story short, I make it to the hospital, right? And Destiny's grandmother, I will always thank her. That's from her father's side.
Okay.
She was, she was set in her ways, but she was very supportive. She's an awesome grandmother. And
Shout out to the grandmothers.
Yes.
Yes. She cut the umbilical cord.
Yes, she
Yeah. So I give birth, and when I tell you, in the movies, maybe because I was a child, but this is my real story, so I'm telling you guys my truth.
Go for it, babe.
So my daughter is coming out, right? So she stays stuck, right in my vajayjay. So they had to like cut me, right? So they like cut me, and as she actually comes out, you guys know the movies. When there's like the moment where you die and you go to heaven and the heavens open and it's like, ah.
Right. I
had that moment. Like literally. Like I saw the sky opening.
So you were
and
kind
I
of like
heard
a
the
dad
angels.
watching
and it was like
a child be born.
Right. And they were like, do you want to hold your child? I'm like, no. I didn't want to hold her. But I knew that day, that moment, that my life was gonna be completely different. It's like I automatically went into mommy mode. I automatically knew that I was gonna grow, that I was gonna do everything for this kid, that I was gonna be protective. I loved her beyond belief at that moment when she came out. I didn't want to hold her because I was kind of like getting my strength back, because it was like nothing was gonna stop me. And from the minute I left that hospital, every single thing that I did, from going to college, from going to work, from everything was for her. And that's why I named her Destiny, because I knew that she was my destiny. Like, I am the woman I am in front of you because of her. She saved my life.
Absolutely.
I didn't do nothing for that kid.
That's dope. That's so dope. And I think just the fact, like, I don't think the sky's open for me, but I think when I had my first daughter, but I get it, because I actually was in the delivery room by myself. Like, my mother had to leave and take my sister to work. My baby father wasn't there. His mom wasn't there. So I was like 19 with a mirror in front of my vagina, pushing the baby out in St. Peter's Hospital. So I feel like, and then I pushed her out naturally, no C-section. But I feel you. I think how the skies opened up for you, I tell people it almost felt like somebody put a permanent cape on my back. Like, it was like I had this feeling of, like, first of all, just accomplishment. Like, I was so scared. I just pushed a human being out of me.
Right.
This is
shout out to women.
Just women, period. Right. The fact.
You know what? I think between the three of us, we were all team moms.
Hello.
And we all came out on top. We all went through it.
Yes.
We all still gonna go through stuff.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Struggle through it. But it's like, we know what what our prize is going to be. Like, we hustle. We make it happen.
Gang.
That's
you
right.
know. And shout out to the people that's on this YouTube chat, because they are going in.
Are they?
Yes, this YouTube chat. I didn't even know about the YouTube chat.
Thank
like, they
you.
are giving hella love.
Hey,
At
dad.
my
Shout out
Instagram,
to-
so I
yeah,
can love you back.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm just sorry to interrupt you, baby mama, because my
But
brain is like
that teen pregnancy, just itself, is a emotional roller coaster.
What?
absolutely.
You don't
about
really
it.
know like what to do and how to feel
And
because it's just so. First of all, you're being looked at. You know, you're not cool being pregnant as a teenager. There's nothing cool about that. Sorry, you know what I mean? Like we weren't cool. We were more so like the
the
Outcast.
outcasts,
We're getting
absolutely,
outcasts.
the
We getting
misfits,
homeschooled
yeah.
Because I know when I had my son, the last 2 months I was homeschooled. So I
dropped
had my
out.
son in July. Yeah, I was homeschooled the last 2 months. I had my son in July, but in September, I stepped back outside. I went to
That's
school.
right.
I went to the Halloween little party in October. I graduated with my class in June.
That's
and then
right.
I kept doing what I had to do because I didn't want to be like what they thought I was
Or
going to be.
a statistic.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like
I
that.
didn't. Yeah, good. Absolutely. And then I feel like that's just dopeness. But I just wanted to tap into because I had it on my head. Shout out to the Crawford House. The Crawford House is a halfway house,
Yes.
a women's halfway house that I actually graduated from back in like 2005. Graduated from there. Sometimes I give back and I talk to them and everything, but I just wanted to shout them out because I wanted to actually do some type of donation for them. Come to find out, they're closing. They have 30 days to vacate the premises. So we're talking about 15 women over the age of 18 that's coming out of the judicial system or coming from the street because it's a halfway house. It's a place where you get therapy, substance abuse treatment, all that good stuff. I was talking to Miss Pam, was one of my old counselors at the program. I was calling her like yo, like make a list of toilets, da 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 da. She like, Fatima, they about to close the doors. They just got the word on Friday that
we
Crawford
were just
House.
talking about them because
we
wanted to do like a
girl
toy drive. And
Crawford House, they closing the doors, so you got about 15 females that really don't know where they going. Probably emergency housing. Probably putting them somewhere in a high risk environment where they not ready to be yet. You feel me? Because they not. Absolutely. So I just kind of want to shout them out and shout out to Crawford House. And I'm going to get with Miss Pam to see what we can do. Some gift cards or something. So at least they could leave.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because it's like,
count me in.
It's like you go to a program.
Right. And that's why I always say, like, Mommy's Keeping It Cute. It's not just about myself and Fatima.
Right.
It's about women. It's about children. It's about positivity. So we
Regardless.
were trying to do this, and so when you say count me in, like that's dope.
Absolutely.
Because some people just sit back and they'll just like stuff.
Nah,
they won't
we're
have
not doing that
input.
over here.
They won't say anything. But
That
they'll
program
watch.
changed my
They'll
life.
watch,
Like
you know what
I
mean?
F with that program, and that program changed. Like that program changed my life. And I think we talked about earlier about the therapy part, right? Kind of what was the benefits of actually going through therapy?
I needed it.
Tell the people why and how did that work out for you?
I found myself. So when you in foster care, you find yourself getting moved from place to place, right? So I can be sleeping at 2 a.m. and get woken up and get changed somewhere else. So I've lived everywhere, in the Brooklyn, Bronx, anywhere you could think of. I've been there. So what happens is, in order for you to protect yourself, people create these walls. And the walls that I was creating was no attachment. So I kind of stopped.
Let's talk about attachment styles, but I'll continue. Miss
I
Esme.
kind of became like numb, right? So like my friendships were like temporary, but I could cut them off like this. And I realized as an adult,
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. You control the energy that comes around.
That's absolutely true.
But I mean, yeah, I think you meant how you bond, right? Bond with people.
Right? Like it was just very superficial. Nothing was in depth. You know what I mean? Like nothing was like me really caring, like from the pit of my stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like
I relate to you.
How you doing?
I relate. It takes a process. I had to learn how to do that.
So I realized that my relationships were just like
temporary.
What?
Very.
Like
yeah.
look, I was the type of and this goes back to my transparency because it took work. I was not always this graceful.
Mm-hmm,
And that's my thing I say. Let me tell you, it was so real that you know how guys are always like, yo, I want somebody that, you know, I could just and then they get to know a woman like me and it's like, hey, I'll take you on a date. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's my truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this came, like, all this non-attachment came from me having to just leave people that I loved. You know what I'm saying? People that I created bonds with. So I got to the point where it was like I was protecting myself. So I needed to go. I needed to go to therapy because I needed to understand who I've been, so that I can create the version of who I want to become.
Absolutely.
You know, because I've never had role models in my life. All I had in my life was like, and this is something I'll give you guys an insight on my life coaching, right? So every time I have life coaching sessions with women, I always tell them, because a lot of women have issues with their physical, right?
Yeah.
So I tell them, before you can love your physical, you have to love internally. You know
That's
why?
right.
Because if you see women like Maya Angelou, when you see women like Frida Kahlo, when you see women who have opened doors for us in the past, it's not about the beauty on the outside. That's not what created pathways.
Yeah.
There were women of strength. There were women that had so much to bring to the table, and I'm sure they were fucking. I'm sure they didn't like men. So it's about that power of being a woman in general, right? So, I feel that your power comes from who you become. And this is why I seek therapy.
Okay.
Because I needed to understand where I was going.
Is therapy something that you still are involved in to this day?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
Definitely.
This is absolutely.
So
and you want to know what?
Go ahead, babe.
I saw I was on a social media website today. It was actually Twitter. And it came across my timeline that they say therapy is temporary. Meaning a person goes to therapy, they get right, they either try to fix or they fix whatever it is that they went for, and then they stay right. A therapy is not forever.
Yes, it is.
And I don't agree with that.
Yes,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree
And the
with
reason
that
why
at all.
I don't agree that therapy isn't forever, because who's to say that when a person stops with therapy, they don't relapse. They don't go back to how they were. Like, therapy is...
It's a maintenance.
evolution.
It's like an oil change. In order for that car to run well, you gotta get that. You have to get that car maintenance, right? If not, that car, that engine gonna blow, and you gonna be on a highway and have an accident, right? So I feel like therapy, and I think. And I just want to shoot it because I'm like a therapist, I guess, right? So
I
guess you are.
But I feel like it definitely is a maintenance. And I love that you're sharing it, because a lot of people think it's like, okay, well, I feel better today, I'm good. It's like, if we have all these years of trauma and unresolved issues, like years of it, so we gonna say, what, 6 months of therapy gonna fix it? It don't even like make sense, right?
The only reason I think a person would cut therapy is probably because they couldn't afford it. Not because they didn't want to go.
Right.
But because they couldn't afford it. Maybe they didn't have the money for it. Maybe their benefits, they reach whatever with their benefits. But you need some sort of therapy, whether it's you writing down something, you speaking to someone. Because I've known Fatima, Peachy Poo, and I, 17
baby
years,
mama.
16 years.
Yeah, my baby mama.
That's like, skeletons in the closet. Like, she knows a lot. So it's just like, I could say she's my therapist. You know what I mean? Just because she listens. Just when people come to talk to another person, you have to listen. I don't always come to talk to you for you to give me a reply, but just to listen to me.
Just be there for me. Look
that's
cute.
it.
Why are you doing it?
Look cute.
What you about to say, Esme?
So what I wanted to say is, this is why it's so important to choose people that inspire you to be in your life, because you don't need to necessarily pay a therapist to be going to therapy.
You better know it.
When you surround yourself with
And healthy people.
and healthy people. And when I say powerful, that's what I mean. I mean
Healthy
people who
people.
understand the power of the tongue, because
Powerful
what you say
healthy.
goes into existence. So this is therapy right here.
Yeah.
when 4 women are able to bond about
Absolutely.
life, this is therapy. So you don't have
Absolutely.
to pay anybody.
Absolutely.
You know, but you need to own your truth, right?
Own it.
Own it,
Accountability.
because what happens is if you're lying about the things that you're saying, if you're not being real with yourself and others,
You can't be real with
You
me.
can't be real with anyone else.
You bet-
can't be in therapy.
You bet, because it won't be effective. It won't be effective.
Right.
It's as effective as how much you put out about yourself on the line.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And with owning your truth,
Yeah.
that's when you're going to actually understand who the people in your circle are and the people who you need to continue to speak to. Because a person, you will tell your truth and a person might be like, ew. But then you'll tell your truth to somebody else and a person will help you grow with that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, let's work on that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe this is my strength. This is your weakness. Let's exchange.
Yes.
So,
Important point.
right.
Important.
So therapy is not always about
It's not
paying someone
formal.
else.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
always formal.
Right.
I think therapy too, I think it's just, like you said, it ain't even a past. I don't want to talk about the past. It's more so how I'm thinking right now. Are my thoughts healthy? Because thoughts impact the way we feel. So if we thinking effed up, we going to feel effed up. If we thinking positive, we going to feel positive. So it's like just kind of being aware and acknowledging. You know how many people walking around these streets that don't even think they need it at this point.
Right.
It's the fact that coming to the space where we can acknowledge it and be honest about it.
And being around, like
And
you
that's
said,
the growth.
healthy
And
people.
that's right.
Because on the ride here,
Mhm.
I really thought to myself,
What
how
you
many
think, baby
healthy
mama?
people am I around?
Girl, I don't follow
You know what I'm
Friday.
saying? Like, I really had to think to myself, how many healthy people, like, you know, you're around a lot of people, you talk to a lot of people, you have friends, you have associates, and I know we have to go, but how many people how many healthy people am I around? How many people, you know, own their shit? You know what I mean? Meaning the stuff that they go through, the stuff that they do, accountability.
Right.
Like, because they say you are who you know, be
Associate
associated
Yes,
with.
birds
And
of
I
a
know
feather.
I'm healthy. I do know that I do have some toxic
traits.
ways.
And
you
that's
know what
okay.
I mean?
And we
That
all
I-
do.
You know,
We all
do. We all
but
do.
my toxic ways does
Own
not.
it.
That's one thing about it, because
That's right.
I don't, you know, say that I'm just like this whole positive person. I
Right.
just know I have bullshit with me.
Absolutely.
I'll probably have bullshit with me forever that started as a child.
Yes.
But
And that we have to maintenance, and that's
Exactly.
what therapy is. Like, if we not even sitting with a therapist, but the tools they teach you in therapy, one needs to actually use it.
Exactly.
We
But
have
if your
to
friends
exercise.
but if your friends that you're talking and you're being
Are
toxic too are telling you, like, if you're having that real conversation with
Yeah.
your friends and they're saying like, look, girl, check yourself. That's who you need to surround
That's
yourself.
love.
That's love.
That's
And I love
responsible
that.
love
That's
and
love.
That's why my
concern.
friends, they might be a little toxic, but yo, they real.
That's it.
We
And that's all
real,
you
like we
need.
said, 'cause no one
Absolutely.
is perfect.
No
so,
less.
you know, it's really...
Zach, Esme, I feel like the time is coming to an end, but we could.
That's it.
I'll be back. I'm trying to tell you, you gotta come back for a part 2 because there's so much we did not touch.
Right.
It's so much
So
that
it's
we
definitely going to be a part 2. Because the
absolutely
way everybody going in, I mean, I'm flipping between
yes.
Facebook and
YouTube.
YouTube and the chats and talking and looking.
Absolutely,
so I can't wait to
absolutely.
really like look at this show because I'm.
Thank
like,
you
oh
so
my God,
much
it's
for
gonna be-
coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I just
Yes,
want to
you're
quickly.
So we love you. We
I love all women of the world.
Hey,
I love you men too.
hey, sometimes
You guys are dope as hell.
Yeah.
I
Let
love
them
men
in.
too.
Let them in.
Just can I quickly shout out again?
Y'all might be the reason why some in therapy, but you know we let them in.
I just wanted to quickly shout out again. Solomon Trade Experience.
Yes.
Come get this money with us. I hope that you guys have him on the show so that he can express to you guys
Yo.
what we've been doing.
We
We're
get him
really
on the show.
booming.
Listen,
We out
Listen.
here.
yo, I'm mad
size
smart. I'm mad more smarter. I'm just trying to tell you, and I think I know a lot, and it's not the arrogance, but I know a lot, but
You
I be
smart as
feeling
hell.
a lot. I'm a lot more smarter. The fact that I'm learning words and terms and just ideology of economics that they didn't teach us in school, that I can talk trader talk. Like, I got the vocabulary to talk trader talk with my best friend over here. Like, Solomon, I thank you. Like, I can't wait to go live and
Let's
really
go.
start trading and make you
Right.
money.
Let's do it.
I'm with it.
And when you guys get a
Yeah.
chance, hit me up at Esme, ASMY _V. I love you guys so
Oh,
much.
we love
and
you
that's
too.
my message all the time. I love you guys because if people have reasons, they have no reason to hate. So my no reason is I love y'all so much. Y'all right here in my heart. And
That's so dope.
That's how I want to end that.
I want to end it like that, and we gonna end it just like that.
And baby
gang.
mama, we had such a dope show.
Yes, we did. I just
Well, you know how we do.
absolutely.
Norm
But
co-signs it.
but
and Norm
Esme,
was
just,
a Jameson.
I just want to tell you, Miss Esme, I just want to I just want to thank you for being here and also continue to be you, like the beautiful underdogs. Every time I post a picture, I go hashtag beautiful underdog because you're part of the gang. Like,
Gang.
you know, the fact that your truth and you're not being ashamed of your truth and how your truth are just gonna help inspire so many young girls out there. Your girls, just keep on doing what you're doing, mama. For real.
Because
Let's
it
all
really
keep
means
doing
a
what we
lot.
doing because we
Let's all-
over here just bossing up. Let's not aim to just be bosses. Let's be leaders.
Absolutely.
And let's take our women with us. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Now, women empowerment, everything. Absolutely.
You know we all for the women empowerment.
For sure.
Oh, we
Thank
love
you.
you.
We're going to have
Danielle,
to do
too,
it.
for
Definitely do a
coming
part
through.
2 next month.
I'm in it.
Okay.
Wait, I'm taking Solomon Trade on vacation next month.
Are you? Okay.
I can't tell y'all.
Well,
where.
you and Solomon
Okay.
Trey gonna come through.
Okay.
But we gonna talk after this.
Absolutely.
So shout out to everybody who's been tuning in with us each and every Sunday. Mommy's keeping it cute. Chrissy.
Thank
My baby
you.
mother.
Yes, of course.
I love her.
Tune in next week. We
Yo,
here.
y'all
We in the
tune in.
building. Taboo, relevant, and powerful talk.